So I have a big question for you guys, the viewers of this video and the subscribers to this channel. Where do you game on? Probably on a PS4, PC, on an Xbox, or Nintendo, right? Another question, wherever you decide to play your games on, do you love your system? Do you love the games that you play on your system? Does it make you happy? Now, I'm asking these questions because all I want to know is if it's a yes. And I think everyone is going to say yes because gaming makes us happy at the end of the day, right? Now, I don't think I'm lying when I say that there's always different things for different types of people. Different type of games, different type of systems, everything for everyone. But even though there's everything for everyone out there, there is still this unnecessary toxicity in the gaming community specifically. And the biggest thing, in my opinion, that is fueling that toxicity in this community is something we gamers like to call the console wars. And the two biggest culprits in this war are Xbox fanboys and PlayStation fanboys. You barely see PC or Nintendo fanboys get involved in this unnecessary war because most of them just know it's not worth it. They usually don't get involved into something as stupid as debating endlessly about whose console has the better games or which console is the more powerful. At this point, whoever does this is truly acting like the stereotypical idiot acting like a 12-year-old living in his mom's basement. So, on that note, today we're going to talk about some of the people in the Xbox community that we gamers like to call the Xbox fanboys or Xbots, who are, without a shadow of a doubt, the biggest hypocrites in the gaming community, and I'm going to tell you in this video why. You see, I say they are the biggest hypocrites in the gaming community because this part of the Xbox community cannot stop contradicting themselves in every single thing they say or do. And by doing this, they truly damage the reputation and the image of the Xbox community. Let me give you a few examples. Remember when the demo for Halo Infinite was shown? Remember how horrible the graphics looked? For a next-gen console to be showing the world what they showed, a game that barely looks current-gen, and with Xbox promoting their system as the most powerful console ever, this was incredibly underwhelming, incredibly disappointing, and honestly, embarrassing. Even Halo back in the Xbox 360 days looked way better than this crap. And who were the first ones to actually go and defend this demo and not accept a single ounce of valid criticism? You guessed it, the Xbox fanboys. They were pulling out every single excuse out of the book to defend the atrocious graphics. If Sony revealed any game in the state Halo Infinite did, you would not hear the end of it from the Xbox fanboys. Where they show their hypocrisy the most is when, after defending Halo Infinite's graphics, they had the audacity to claim Sony downgrades their games, like for example, the new game that they showed out, Ratchet & Clank, after PlayStation showed us 7 minutes of raw gameplay footage for Ratchet & Clank in 4K and running on a PlayStation 5. Now, any normal person would see this demo and say it was amazing. Ray tracing was noticeable everywhere. Just looking when Ratchet and Clank are running inside this building, looking at the floor, just looking at the ray tracing, looking at the details shown basically everywhere. Seeing them slide down the building, again showing ray tracing, the textures, the graphics, the color, the gameplay. Everything in this demo screams next gen, and it only gets you hyped to play this game even more. Everything looks amazing, right? Well, Xbox fanboys immediately after this gameplay was shown to the world, they started to look for ways to shit on PlayStation like they always do, and they came up with this comparison. They of course completely overlooked the whole 7 minutes shown and focused solely on these two images to quote-unquote prove that this game sucks because it was downgraded supposedly by Sony. They overshadowed every single other part of this demo that shows better color, way more ray tracing, better textures, better resolution, just better overall. Just because Insomniac added more fog and changed the lighting, they all of a sudden for some reason claim that this game is just not worth the hype and it looks horrible. Do you just get their logic? It's actually funny to see the reaction of Xbox fans every time they say that Sony downgrades their games or that their games are just gonna be crap, but then they come out and they sell literally very good, And then this is basically how they react. They just try to find way more things for future games to bring it down so that people can be dismotivated to play those games, but actually they always get disproven. They always say the games are downgraded, but most of the time when they actually are released, they're actually even better than what's shown in the demo. So just seeing how these people react, it's funny and it's crazy how these people do not learn from their mistakes, and they keep on doing it because they have to bring people down, because that's the only thing they actually feel pleasure in, which is really sad. I mean, this is how they act, and it's just sad to see. Now, what I do sometimes is I just imagine if these PlayStation exclusives, like let's say God of War, Spider-Man PS4, The Last of Us Part 2, were actually Xbox exclusives. You wouldn't hear Xbox fans ever talk anything bad about these games because they're actually good games. But because they're PlayStation exclusives and they don't get to play these games, then this is how they react. And this is something that I understand humans are like this. When you don't have something, you have to shit on others to feel good because you don't have it. But it's annoying because I know it's not the whole Xbox community that actually acts like this, but only a little part of it. And that's just crazy because a lot of people that are PlayStation fans think that it's just the whole Xbox community. I have friends that are in the Xbox community and they don't act like this. They actually even know that Microsoft are not doing enough for their consumers and fans. So what these fanboys are doing, the way they act, it's really, really sad to see. Now, another example of the hypocrisy of Xbox fanboys is like, for example, when Xbox fanboys say that every PlayStation exclusive is basically like a walking simulator or just like a movie game, and it's just boring games that aren't like multiplayer or stuff like that. But the moment Flight Simulator came out for PC and it was just basically getting so many great reviews, basically everybody saying it was a masterpiece, and because it was created by Microsoft, then all these Xbox fanboys went to Twitter and just basically started talking about like, oh, Flight Simulator has great critic scores and is on top with the PlayStation exclusives. It's better than any PlayStation exclusives. And you want to know what's the funniest part? They say that PlayStation exclusives are mostly walking simulators, but they're actually praising a simulator with Flight Simulator. Like, don't you see the hypocrisy there? And I'm talking about Xbox fanboys, like those ones that you see on Twitter, the ones that have like 2,000, 3,000 followers and are just talking crap all the time about PlayStation and all that stuff. Like, it's incredible how, to just appease to a small part of the fan base, they just start talking crap out of their asses and don't understand and realize that they're actually being hypocrites on almost everything that they do. It's mind-boggling, but I don't know, I just find it kind of funny that they just don't realize what they're doing. I just don't get it. I just honestly do not get why they have to go and always basically shit on PlayStation fans for having great exclusives like God of War, Uncharted 4, The Last of Us Part 2, Days Gone, Horizon Zero Dawn, just to name a few. They always basically look for any single thing before these games come out, and it just feels like they're more attentive to the PlayStation exclusives than actual PlayStation fans. It actually gets to a point of absurdity, and I don't know. It's just kind of mind-boggling how much energy and time these people waste on trying to bring down the experience to others, because it just seems that they just don't know what to do with their time. I don't know. It could be because they just barely have any good games to play. I don't know. That might be a reason. Sometimes want to imagine if Microsoft actually worked their asses off to bring out good games. I would guarantee these stupid console wars would die down because both groups will be busy playing video games. But because one group, like the PlayStation fans, are busy playing games, and the other part, the Xbox fanboys, are just bored as hell, not having too many good exclusives, I don't know, they just want to go and shit on others, and then they complain why they are the laughingstock of the gaming community. It's incredible how they just do not realize that every action they do, it's warranted to be ridiculed. They just do not know when to stop. Like, they are the ones who basically say, oh, Metacritics don't score if it's a PlayStation exclusive because Sony pays off the companies to basically get good reviews. But when Xbox games get good scores on Metacritic, they don't say Microsoft paid those companies for good reviews. No, it just means the game is actually good. Or like, For example, the Last of Us Part 2 situation. They were saying that critic scores didn't matter for that game because journalists were supposedly paid off. According to them, and basically almost the whole internet at the time, the user review scores are the ones that actually mattered. But because they were getting review bottom, of course, it only matters when you just don't like the game or the company making it. Now, what happens if the user scores for an Xbox game is low? Well, they're actually just gonna side with the critic scores like they always do. It truly baffles me how openly hypocritical some of these Xbox fanboys can be, and it truly makes you wonder, what the hell is their problem in just not letting others enjoy what they want to play? No wonder the whole internet and basically the whole gaming community cannot stop shitting on these fanboys, because that small portion of the Xbox community just keeps on bringing the banter and the hate to themselves with their behavior, and if they keep doing this, it won't stop, and it will only get worse for everyone in the Xbox community. I just don't get it. Microsoft had the opportunity to show us what they're made of. Their Xbox One X is considerably way more powerful than the PS4 Pro, let alone the base PS4. And still, it is PlayStation who keeps on pumping console selling games year in, year out, and selling out on consoles every single time. But in the 3 years Microsoft basically having the power advantage over Sony's PlayStation, they still fail in providing their fan base with actual games that actually can compete with the likes of Sony exclusives. It's getting to the point where it's actually ridiculous now to just keep hearing the same crap all over again from these fanboys every single time, trying to defend Microsoft for what they provide their community and basically always falling short on their promises. And now Xbox Game Pass being a great affordable service for many gamers, and Microsoft basically only solely focusing on promoting Game Pass way more than an actual console and actually showing us gameplay running on the Xbox Series X, it really kind of shows you where Microsoft's priority is. And I can say with 100% certainty, it is not with their actual consoles or games. And unfortunately, this kind of shows that Microsoft has not learned anything in the past 7 years of embarrassment and always under-delivering and disappointing their fans time and time again. And honestly, I just don't see this changing for the next couple of years. Microsoft just are not focusing on what they're supposed to do. You could have the best console ever with the best technology ever, but if you just don't take advantage of those things, then it really is not worth it. It's like buying a $3,000 PC to just play Fortnite or one of those indie games. Like, it's just not worth it for the money that you're paying. And that's something that is very disappointing and something that Microsoft are not learning to this day. Now look, this is not me in this video saying that you cannot go for an Xbox, you cannot play an Xbox, or you cannot anticipate the new Xbox Series X. No, you could play on an Xbox. If that's your preferred console, then do you, that's great. At the end of the day, what matters is you being happy, wherever you play on. No one should judge you if you choose to play on a PlayStation, on an Xbox, PC, Nintendo, or even on your phone. What matters is that you are having fun and you're truly enjoying what you're doing. And if you get annoyed because you just want to play your games on an Xbox, or you just want to play your games on a PlayStation, and you just hate these fanboys just never leaving you alone with their bullshit, remember that at least you're playing the games that you want to play on your preferred system, doesn't matter if it's a PC, PlayStation, or an Xbox, and you're having fun, while these people are wasting their whole lives swimming in a pool of negativity, trying to hurt others for their own satisfaction. The moment you realize that is the moment that you take their power away and you shut them off for good. Keep playing and just keep having fun. 2020 is already filled with too much bullshit, and I don't think the gaming community needs more of these pathetic fanboys. What do you guys think about this? Are you done with Xbox fanboys always being annoying as hell and being so hypocritical all the time? Cause I know for sure I am, and I'm done with their toxicity. Before you leave, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. And always leave a like in this video because it really helps the channel a lot and with the YouTube algorithm so that this channel can get noticed way more and spread to the masses. Also, let me know in the comment section down below, what's your preferred system? A PC, an Xbox, a PlayStation, Nintendo, on your phone? And also, do you guys want me to make a video about PlayStation Fanboys, which I'm very keen into making? If you guys get this video to more than 200 likes, that will be my next video for sure. So smash that like button. It really helps the channel out a lot. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay positive, stay safe, keep playing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.